What's going on, you guys? Slim here at the 250th YCS here in Los Angeles with my brother Asian Persuasion. You already know. And we are here with Mr. John Wilkin.
That's good.
Good to see you, bro. Making top 64 at this insane tournament. 3,200 players. 12 rounds of Swiss. It's absolutely insane.
12 rounds.
Crazy.
Lots of ash blossoms.
Lots of ash blossoms. what were you on for this tournament?
So, Despia. I played a very similar list to what I did at Vegas, but I switched up some of the specific. The engine is more or less the same, but I switched up kind of how I'm tackling the meta, just what I expected. It's similar. It's a similar meta, but different tech choices, I guess.
Makes sense. Yeah. Do you have any shout outs for me?
Oh yeah. Huge shout out to the Studs group chat, DB Grinder, and then biggest shout outs Charlie Futch, Ryan, my teammates. Love those guys, and my family, I guess.
Yeah, the Dragon Duelists that all grew up on me. You guys are killing me, man.
All our kids are grown now.
They ain't kids no more.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see it.
So the engine, like the branded Albaz cards, are the same as what I played at Vegas. So it's the 5 Despias, the 5 Albaz cards, and then the 2 Albaz. So I was really considering the 3rd Albaz just because it's really good going second against almost every deck, and especially like cash, because you banish your stuff, and there's a lot of times when even if you resolve Brain Infusion, like you're just in a weird spot because you run out of Albaz, so you don't have that grind for the next turn. So that's kind of like a huge consideration that I had, but I ended up just deciding that I valued, because it was either the 3rd Albaz over the 2nd Cartesia, but I valued the 2nd Cartesia more, just as the fact that it helps you play through Ash and around Imperm really well, and like it just like gets you the resources that you need, because an issue this deck has is sometimes having those resources in hand. So the fact that Cartesia can add itself back after using it means that you have those cards to pitch off Lubellion, off opening off Albaz and Dragoon and stuff. So that's like kind of why I decided on that. And for the rest, the Bestials stays the same. This won't change unless there's a new deck that actually uses the graveyard and have deck monsters or light monsters. But yeah, so for now, this is just kind of where it's at. I don't think of this as more of an interruption. It's just kind of like a combo piece. Same with, I guess, like, it's obviously not an interruption, but yeah, you don't really need to play more. They're just bricks at this point. 1 Dark Magician. I love this card.
Best card.
Yeah. You know what? Everyone's like, oh, it's a break, it's a break. It's not a break. Every time I draw it, I'm like, oh, nice, because it means that you just have Lubellion and sorry, not Lubellion. You can make it with like Albion.
Albion, right? Yeah.
And so that like leads pathways to where you can end on Jade and Dragoon. You can have both of these, and it's like really nice. If you draw it. So, like, I don't know. I think people underrate this card. I love Dragoon. This card will stay in my deck. So the puppet. So I made the puppet now. So, like, the thing is with this card is that it's just an auto win every time I summon it. Like, I haven't lost a game where I give them puppet, which makes sense because they just completely just destroy the first turn. Like, they literally just, their turn is skipped. And I want to be able to have the option game 1 to just go bam if I open well enough. Because I especially noticed that a lot of people are main decking, all these cards that are going second cards, like they have Lance, which kind of hurts the stat because they can't change the in red. They have like Book of Moons, they have Dark Hole Storms the main deck. I'm betting somebody found the main. So I'd rather have a way to just go bam.
Free win. Yep. Free win game 1.
Exactly.
So much easier. I like it.
So for the non-engine, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 1 Nib. So my thought process behind this is for like just the user through Ash because it has a very broad general application against every deck, and it can just win the game on the spot, especially against this deck. So I was playing 3 Nib, 1 Imperm. So the one of is for the crossout. Then I'm like, okay, a lot of people aren't really doing that full combo game 1 anyways, and I'd rather just have a card that has a broader application, and I don't, especially because like I don't want to have I draw into Nib or something in turn, or I just have dead going second cards, especially my non-engine. It's supposed to just get me there, and a lot of the time my engine is so powerful, even an Imperm works, like an Imperm on like the Rise Heart, it just like it can win the game on the spot, and it just has more application than the Nib. But Nib is a more powerful card. so that's why I have it in the side. 3 Brain Infusion, 3 opening, 1 branded in red, 1 lost. This stays the same. This will stay the same. This is I side one of these out, I guess. Technically, if the format changes, you could cut it, but I really do not see myself cutting it down for more than 3. It's a consistency card. This deck has kind of consistency issues sometimes, but I don't really have. I think that I think I'm playing 12 Brain Infusion, something like that. So it's it's fine. It's annoying sometimes when you pitch a card and then you're running low cards, like I said before, but in general it's just really good. Just because it isn't your normal. That comes up a lot where I have Cartesia opening, and then Expulsion, Retribution.
The free wins.
Yeah. Something cool about this as well. This is just a small thing about the card. It's really cool as a utility, to set. Some people just think it's used to add back, but a lot of the time I set it off Albion, and I can just negate anything, any effect that special summons a monster. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that's right.
This card is one of the best cards in my deck.
100%.
So what makes this insane is that it's broken going first or second because it summons either of these cards. So this Aliber plus Fusion Deployment ends on Mercurier in hand, a draw off Albion sending Retribution, a live Mirror Jade, and Puppet Lock.
Like it needed the lock.
So I'm saving that for the end. And so it just having access to this card just makes your board so much better. I don't think I lost a game where I drew it and was able to play. It's just I love it so much. Oh, especially it's really good when going against Cash because you do this, bait up their stuff, and then go Fusion Deployment, summon Albaz, clear your board, get a Jade, and I have the monster off the fusion.
Yeah, so that's correct.
It's really nice. I play the consistency cards, Foolish, Cold Sark. This card is gosh.
Yeah,
oh man, this card is why I topped. So I did this to so many Ashes. I did it to Expulsion twice for Gimmick Puppet in the same match. It was crazy. Game 1, he goes Dragoon with a negate and Expulsion. I've nib, so I nib him. He negates, and then on my turn he goes Expulsion. I go cross out, and that was insane. It just being able to negate these guys are just so insane. I don't think other than Mourner, there wasn't a single time where I got hand trapped where it wasn't Imperm or Ash, and I got Imperm Ash 10 times each this event. Jesus. And I cross-outed it, I cross-outed Imperm 3 times, I cross-outed Ash 4 times. It's just so good. I cross-outed a barrier too, I still had the barrier.
Let's go.
That was nice. But cross-out, if you want to play Branded, 3 of it has to be in your main deck, just 100%.
How many cards in the main?
42.
42.
So the thing is, I wanted, just to click on it, I wanted to have a better side pattern because I found that I was siding out cards that I didn't want to side out a lot, and so I just added a couple cards. I was okay, it might affect consistency a little bit, but in general I would rather have more consistency going second and be able to have those cards than to I think the upsides are much better than the downsides of adding those 2 extra cards.
Yeah.
Jade, Albion, Rebellion, Rinbrum, Dragoon for the 2 ofs. So I was playing only 1 of this at Vegas, but I was okay, I'm expecting a lot of cash, and I'm playing against 8, 9 cash.
Oh my god.
And so basically what this allows for you to do is that depending on their board, you go for either Dragoon or Rinbrum. If their board's more minimal and just to rise hard, you go for the Rinbrum. If they have a bigger board, you go for Dragoon because it's it's the pop and the can't be targeted and you can crash and stuff. So that's what this is for. And so this just allows you to have it no matter what, even if they do get a rip, because they're not going to rip this if you have the second one. It's fine. So I'd rather just have the utility. I cut it for Sprint because of contact. It was for contact Sprint, but I never got contact seed in both Vegas and this tournament. I don't think that's a real threat anymore. So I think this is worth it. Bring in the Search Mercurier and just summon Albaz in phase as utility. Gungnul. I switched to Quertus because I found that the fact that I can summon a Despia from my deck kind of allows me to get to Injun when I don't have it because you can summon it off Gungnul. So if it gets to a grind game, I can do a thing where I Quertus, then crash, and I get the summon. It never came up, but it's just for I definitely would stick with it. one Despia, and then the Chimera. So this is mostly standard for the Dragoon versions. For the side, this is where the Albaz comes in. I said the third Albaz. I'd consider maining it. Maybe just bumping it to 43. But it worked really well on the side deck because you only really need it for going second. It's really good against every deck this format going second, just because of the fact that like you have a lot of spell cards in your deck to kind of bait through their stuff, and then just having a normal summon that gets you into a Mirror Jade is really powerful. Because other than that, the only way you're getting into those Albaz fusions is through Brand Fusion. So this allows you to like not have to worry about Ash because you still get the Jade no matter what. You just use that guy, and it's a removal. So this is for Labyrinth.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Expulsion Jinzo, GG.
Yeah. So I think Expulsion is this deck's best asset, I think. And like being able to kind of play off of that and use cards like Jinzo is what makes the deck really cool. And so I just had this in there in case I played against Labyrinth. I didn't play against Labyrinth, and I really wish I had the chance to
summon Jinzo.
Summon Jinzo and just be like, yeah, good luck.
I'm gonna just swing everything in attack mode.
Exactly.
No fear.
Yeah. It's really cool. I'd still play it, but I didn't get a chance to use it this weekend. So the other two Nibs, Nib really performed this weekend. So the thought process behind like having Nib in my deck, because I was testing with my friends, like I was like talking about the deck, and they were like, "Yeah, man, I don't like Nib this format. Yeah, everybody's just playing around." But the thing is, like, having Nib is really good because I can break the boards that they don't summon more than 5 times. Or 5 more times. Like Brand Fusion can, like a Rise Pass gets outed by literally like 7 cards in my deck instantly, and like 20 times, like there's 20 other cards that the combination is completely outset. So like it's definitely good to have this for when they extend, which is when it's an issue, like the 5 block. And so just drop that on to the win. I did it. It won me like 3 matches this weekend having the Nib, which is nice.
See, game changer.
Backward removal. So this was for like cash. I never used it. I didn't really get the chance to, but I drew it a bit. I just ended up usually just pitching it. It kind of underperformed. I might cut it, but in theory, it's nice for like Birth and stuff. This is also for cash and like back row decks. The thing is with cash is that every time I play against it, I feel like they always like set 2 or whatever.
They do.
And
they always have back row.
Being able to like Duster, get rid of their back row, it could be like Book, Lance, Big Bang, and they also usually have Birth, right? So you're getting like a +3 and stopping their follow up. So I think that's really nice. This was for Sprite, 3 Dark Ruler. I only played against 1 Sprite. I didn't really get the chance to do it. I didn't draw it, so but in theory it's good. I'd still play it. 3 Evenly. I do this card a lot. I never won the game off of it evenly, but it was very similar to the Imperm in the way of like how I was saying before, where it's really good at beating out the stuff and then using my engine to break the board, because Brandon but the Brandon engine is really good at like playing through stuff, except Ash.
Except for Ash, if you don't have Cartesia.
It plays through other cards really well, and so having cards like these to just kind of bait out the hard negates or force them to do like weird actions and like it gives you an opportunity to capitalize on that and like make the most of your hand. And then the 1 barrier for the crosshair.
Won you some games.
Yeah, anyways, this deck performed really well. I was kind of worried going to this event, considering it's 12 rounds of Swiss, lots of Ash Blossoms. But I was like, you know what? I think my deck is strong enough it can push through Ash, because my deck has so many ways to play, like with like Cartesia and stuff, to play through Ash and still end on stuff. And like, I have so many outs to Ash that I'm like, okay, I will see it, it'll be fine. And it was fine. Bricky ended up being my downfall. He had the full like block combo, and then I bricked him too in top 64. But I think overall the deck performed really well, and I'm going to continue playing going forward. So yeah, it's really nice.
It's awesome, dude. You were one of like, I think what, 3?
One of
3
2 or
Brandon.
3.
Yeah, there's only 3 Brandon.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't seem to be a popular deck, and I can understand why. You know, it's really disheartening to get ashed.
Yeah,
it's
but
really
I think it also takes the right pilot too. As you, Charlie, have proven, like I think that's really what it is. It takes the right pilot to know how to play the deck and just how to navigate the format. So I think if you're good with the deck, you're comfortable with it. Like the results will speak for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's a really hard deck to learn, but if you get to the point where you're comfortable with it, it can win anything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love it.
Awesome, dude. Well, congratulations on top 64. And
Thanks for the profile.
Anytime, man.